Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. This is going to be going live. Let me double check my microphone here. Got the green light going. All right, you can hear me. So, what's everybody doing out there? How's everybody doing today? This is Monty with 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to see everybody here. We are going to be talking some things are looking different on a regular basis. No, they are looking different. They are looking cool. They are looking different. They are looking like a whole new batch of things happening. So, welcome to the show, everybody. Glad you all could be here. Yesterday, I dumped paint everywhere while I was painting. My elbow caught some paint and dumped it on the floor. So that was fun. Always fun. So, welcome to the show, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host at 412 Productions. We talk artwork, we talk comic books, we talk movies. We just don't talk two things here. And if you don't know what those two things are, don't ask. No, I'm kidding. You can ask, but it's religion and politics. We do not talk those here on the show. Just because once you start talking those, people start losing their damn minds on a regular basis. We are going to talk a little bit of some awareness real fast. Another friend of mine posted this, Mr. James Stokes. He is an actor. I am an actor as well as an artist as well. Mr. James Stokes talked yesterday on his Facebook page about awareness for unaliving awareness. And you can call 988 or you can hit me up in my DMs because I will listen to what you have to say. Because people go through depression and anxieties and things like that through life. And at some time in your life, I'm sure that you have thought about or even talked about to someone that you did not want to be here on this plane of existence. I know I did in 2009 when my son passed away. Um, but I quickly got over that as I continued to think about my two daughters that were still around. So, yeah, it was dark days in 2009. I was going through a divorce, and then my son passed away. So, what did I have to live for? Is my thoughts at the time. And, like I said, I quickly got over that because I did realize that, hey, I've still got people that depended on me, my two daughters. And so those thoughts quickly went away, but it took a while. It took me probably about 6 months or longer before I realized 100% that, there are other people that want to see you here. And I'm not talking about just here live on a show. I'm talking about in your family, you know, because there are people that uh, family members pass away unexpectedly, and sometimes we don't get the chance to tell them all the things that we wanted to say. Especially when you look back and it's like, well, man, I could use one of those bear hugs, or I could use one of those sit down talks and things like that. But welcome everybody. My name is Monty Anderson, the host of 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. We talk artwork, we talk comic books, we talk movies. I just wanted to put that disclaimer in there, the 988. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, there is that number, or you can hit me up in my DMs. So, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Please share and go up to my social media or my page up there, my profile page, and hit the other areas that I go live on as well, which is my Facebook. Sometimes I go live on Instagram whenever TikTok isn't working, which is working now. Um, and I also have a YouTube channel out there as well. Every Friday we get a new drop. So the 7th, I probably won't talk about it on the 7th. It'll probably be the 9th when I talk about it. Uh, we're doing a segment for Antarctic Press. Antarctic Press is a professional comic book company out there in the world, and Mr. Ben Dunn was gracious enough to put out a call to get influencers such as myself to uh, review their upcoming comic books. Like last time on the first, I believe. No, yes, the first, I believe was, yeah, because Friday is when it dropped, the last day of February, because we're in March. On the first, we talked about Tomorrow Girl. I don't know what's coming up next, but the next drop should be Friday, and Friday the 7th, and I'm looking forward to that because I'm not sure which comic book we're going to be reviewing next when it drops. So we never really know, but he also puts my channel out there, and he will promote me, and so that means his viewership or uh, people out there that enjoy Antarctic Press can come over here and listen to a honest review of his comic book. And I am not biased. I do like Antarctic Press. They have been around for quite a while, and I remember a lot of their entities growing up. So I look forward to continuing to do Antarctic Press reviews with Mr. Ben Dunn and his whole crew of people. If you don't, if you didn't catch the last live here, I think you can go back and watch the lives on TikTok. I'm not 100% sure. Because it's not like I go searching out live shows. Because I am live every other day. So right now, as it stands, it's the odd days that I go live. So again, today is the 5th, which is Wednesday of March, and the next day will be Friday the 7th, again on Sunday the 9th, again on Tuesday the 11th. So there you go. You have a little bit of a schedule. You have a plan. If you like the channel, you can come in and check us out on those days. I usually come on about this time, anywhere between 4 and 4:30 in the morning, because why? I'm awake. Uh, yeah, I'm usually awake before this, but I try to wait to go live until closer to 4 or 4:30. There's a lot of times that I'm in here about 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 a.m. is when I'm usually in the office doing my artwork, working on projects. Because right now I've got two commissions right in front of me, um, and then I've got a secret comic book cover that I'm working on. I kind of put the cat out of the bag the last show. So if you caught last show, you know what I'm talking about. This time I am working on a secret comic book cover for a comic book company right now, which will be comic book cover number 2 under my belt as under the professional realm. The first one being William Russell's Psycho Sal, which was his Psycho Sal number 3. So if you're interested in some of those, I have some of those. I do have the original artwork hanging here in my office, which I have not decided if I'm going to sell or not. I do know that I've had it for quite a while, and it's my first comic book cover. So I am holding on to it, if you will. But that's neither here nor there. We do have lots of artwork for sale. Sold a big piece yesterday. I sold my American Horror piece, which was my Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein uh, in an homage. If you don't know what an homage is, you can look it up. It is a honor of something or a drawing or picture of out there already. Of the 1930s American Gothic painting, which has the old man with the pitchfork and then the girl beside him with the old farmhouse behind them. And so I did that with Frankenstein's castle behind them, and of course they had the outfits on that you see in the painting as well, the oil painting there. So that actually sold whenever I posted it up on Facebook yesterday, and went and talked to the person, and he's going to buy some more artwork. So that's always exciting. He is a tattoo artist, so he doesn't need my artwork, but he really loved it. So thank you out there, Mr. Jackson. So that's always exciting whenever you post something up and boom. just like that, it sells and takes off. You always want That's what you always want with your artwork, and that's what's happening right now. This has been a great year for artwork so far, and I'm really surprised with the price of eggs out there. No, um, no, people make wise choices with their money, and not me. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of those people that make wise choices with their money. Oh, I gotta have that. No, you don't. You really don't have to have that. But I do. No, I really do. No, no, you don't. And so, all right. So, let's see. Filming is getting ready to happen on the movie that I voiced over. Um, a character called Champ, and that movie should be filming here pretty soon. They're starting to get all of their elements in. It is a Power Ranger fan film, and I'm looking forward to hearing my voice out there even more. No, no, it's just fun to be a voice actor because you're still acting. Whenever it comes down to the aesthetics, the pleasingness of it all, and you're still acting. A lot of people think that someone just puts up the script and reads from the script. Well, that's not really true. I had my script laid down, and I got into that role. I moved like the character would be moving in the scene that he was, in, so that it's not just like a this character did this right here right now. But no, you get into that role. You influx words. If it's a standing still role, you're still moving your hands or whatever you're doing. But yeah, no, it's always fun to think how that character would be moving, especially, you know a Power Ranger type character, be it some kind of metallic hero or whatever. But hopefully this is a start to some more new things because I've acted in some films for a friend of mine, who just released his full length feature film, uh, The Forest Through the Trees, and he's getting ready to do a sequel to that, and then he's doing another. I'm pretty sure another full length film here soon. Um, the Trials of Margaret something or other. Can't remember what the full title is right off the top of my head, but he is a local movie producer. But I acted in a couple of his films, and I've lended my artiste expertise into his films as well, when it comes to props and making, like missing person posters and newspapers and all kinds of different things. And so it's always been fun to be in that, and it just so happened, the right people, you get to jump into that. And am I still on? Am I still talking? Am I still going? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure you guys can hear me out there. But I look forward to his movies as well, um, just because the writing on them is really good, and he does have them on. I believe I know he's got them on YouTube, so you can go look up Jason Pitts on YouTube, and um, he's also in IMDb, as am I, and you can also find him. I think you can find him on Tubi. I think I could be wrong, but there's several different streaming platforms that you can find his works on. He's got a a, uh, a triple feature film, um, that I was in, one of, and then a lot of my props and stuff were in another, or in pretty much all three of those films. I did design up or print and design up his DVD covers and things like that for him as well. So that's always fun and exciting. But the acting side of it all is even better, just because you get to be in a role, you get to be something different. Not that I really want to be something different, because I love who I am when it comes to doing my artwork and being a homesteader. And, you know, now the only thing I would change in my than I did. I was 33 when I joined the military, and it's you look back on it, and that's like, holy crap, you're almost dead at that point. No, I'm kidding. The young people are like, holy crap, 33, that's so old. And then they get there, and it's like, 33 isn't as old as I thought it was going to be. I have young friends that are that way that I used to work with at Wally World, and they would talk about, I'm getting old, I'm turning 30. It's just like, all right, if you think 30 is old, just wait. If you make it to 50, you know, be half a century year old, and go from there. And then when they get to that point, it's just like, well, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was like, yeah, well, to each their own. Some people think, 25 is old. Oh, that's cute. That's a cute hairdo right there. But no. Um, so let's talk some artwork. If you are needing something commissioned, you can always hit me up. I am always interested and available for doing artwork. Like right now, I'm working on Mr. David from The Lost Boys. It's turning out really cool. It looked really sick the other day when I turned off my lights here in the studio. Um, as it's hard to there we go, because whenever I turned out all the lights and it's dark in here, his eyes were glowing in the dark, and it was just like, holy crap, that's pretty sick. Um, but it's gonna look killer under black light as well. And I'm also working on a um, logo for another friend of mine who is doing who has a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it's YouTube channel where he does his video games on his platform on, and he wants that to be the green screen for behind him. And then I have that secret comic book cover project that I told people about the last live show. So it's secret to some people. It's not secret to some people. But if you were here on the last show, you would have seen the fact that I spilled the beans, and but I won't talk about it anymore. um, but no, it's all good. He's a pretty cool dude, and it's fun to take someone else's characters and do your own thing to them. And I've got this really killer idea for it. And like he said, it's like Point Break meets pro wrestling. You've got a Bonnie and Clyde type character that are robbing banks and other establishments for money, and just think on those terms. So it's going to be fun, and exciting. They drive a Mustang, according to the pictures I've seen. So it's going to be exciting what I come up with for this show on it at all times. And but no, I really enjoy the fact that I am able to lend my talents not only to my own stuff, because I do have a comic book of my own in the works. I am 18 pages in on book one. Um, it's just slow going because at a certain point in time you have to go take care of animals, and so you get away from the artwork side, and you want to be working on your own project on a regular basis, and uh, all the writing is right here. It's all in your head. I don't use a program to write it. I don't use Squibbler or whatever AI stuff, Chat GPT or whatever the hell it's called. Everything comes from me. It's just like the uh, flag that I have on my desk. It says all hand drawn artwork, original artwork at this booth. Because I would hang this up at my booth, and it would say no AI generated artwork here. And there's a place for AI generated artwork, but it's not in our world. as an artist, we get disgusted because people pass it off as their own work when they've just typed in a couple of keywords and this is what I want, and here, you create the image for me. Well, that's not really doing the work. That's just typing in on a computer. And like I've seen other writers talk about, they can tell when someone has used a AI generated program to write their book for them because they say, like they said, you can tell, and it's horrible. And you can tell with AI generated artwork because it is pretty bad. You get extra fingers, or you get the exact same um, color palettes, basically, with the sun in the exact same spot on every AI generated piece of artwork. And, to pass that off as your own, and a lot of comic book conventions are cracking down on that and kicking people out that have AI generated artwork. Because it's just not their work. I mean, in reality, they are not an artist. Um, you're a keyboard warrior, is what you are. You typed in a couple of keywords on your computer through this program, and it created the artwork for you. You did not draw it. You did not paint it. You did not, put pen to paper, pencil to paper, whatever. Uh, paintbrush to canvas. And so, a lot of comic book conventions are looking at people's work whenever it comes in, and if they do see that it is AI generated artwork, they're like, nope, you got to pull your booth, take a hike. And I don't know. I'm sure they get refunded for their money on, or a portion of it. I guess, I don't know, but uh, it's to the discretion of the convention because you just lied to them about how the artwork was created, because they do ask. They do ask how the artwork was generated, what type of artwork you have, what you have for sale, especially if you are in Artist Alley or even a vendor. So, because, um, like, if I wanted a vendor spot, yeah, it's more expensive, but it's going to get you more generated views because people are going to look at the the tangible stuff that they can buy, like swords and action figures and things like that. And if you're butted up next to one of those, they're definitely going to stop at your store, at your booth. So it's always it's always exciting to see, because and that's why I've always loved going to comic book conventions, is because you get a diverse group of people. You get um, the super wealthy showing up at these shows, to the people that barely had enough money to get into the show just to look around. And then they'll buy something here and there, but if the price is right, but they're a little bit more frugal than some of the other people. Um, because I have seen all worlds, when you're at a comic book convention. Like I said, from the super wealthy to uh, the people that, what do you have for $3, or whatever. And it's just like, well, we got you covered, you know. Because I usually have stickers or buttons or something like that. Buttons are going out the window. I'm tired of dealing with those. Yeah, a lot of people love them to put on their purses or backpacks, or their convention jackets, or whatever. But they're just a pain in the ass. I mean, let's just get real. Especially when I'm making them myself. I have the button machine. I have all the equipment, and it's just a huge pain in the ass to get them all done. And but I would rather have, my canvas prints that I'm getting ready to start introducing. I want my 11 by 17 prints that I'm getting ready to start introducing. And my other items, which I can't reach right now because they're at the other side of the room, but it is my, if you're looking at the uh, Facebook page or YouTube page, you can see them, and it's up top, the top corner, top right hand corner. It is the Art the Clown on the base. It says the art of art on it, and it is an actual painted saw blade. And you can go check out that on my page, because somewhere down in there I've got that and Billy the Puppet from Saw on actual saw blades on a base. The bases are sealed so that you can put your cell phone on them, you can put your keys on them, you can put whatever. If you got an action figure of Saw that you wanted to put on there, you can do that too. Um, or of Art the Clown. like a pop figure, or I know they've got action figures out there as well that are really cool, but sometimes those things can get pricey, and I understand that. It's a collector's item, and Art the Clown is one of the hot commodities right now, with Terrifier 3 just having come out, and a potential Terrifier 4 in the works. And I think Saw has run its course. I don't think there's going to be any more of those. Um, so, unless, give it a couple years, and then it could be a reboot, like they do everything anymore. They don't. Unfortunately, Hollywood does not have an original thought in their head. They just rehash old movies from way back when. It's just like, well, let's try this. Let's do this. Let's take this movie and give it this spin. What up there, buddy boy? About time you wake up. I got something for $1. I got a Sunbelt Bakery fudge dip chocolate chip bar. There you go, Mr. Roy. I got you right there, $1. And then I won't have breakfast. I'm just kidding. I've got more. But no, we try to have fun here. If you don't like fun, you can just keep on moving. I guess I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We talk about serious things here. We also talk. I mean, we have a lot of fun, but there are those times that things have to get serious, and we don't do that a lot. But you know, it's life. There are serious moments in life, and you know, and unfortunately, that's part of life, is that it has to get serious at certain points in time. But this isn't one of those times. I'm not serious right now. Take that for how it is. Take it for what it is. But Mr. Roy, I saw your 1:53 a.m. posting that you sent to me, so you don't have to ask. Because I did give you some laughing emojis on it, for Mr. Odigizua, Osa Odigizua, Dallas Cowboy defensive player that we just retained for a 4-year contract, which is pretty awesome. He's an awesome player. He's one of the good guys. With us, he may never win a Super Bowl, but I'm hoping someday soon. They're my team. I love them. I hate them. I can't live without them. No. I mean, if they were to stop being a football team, I'd probably just stop watching football altogether. I mean, to be honest. Because they're the only team I follow in football, and as far as professional football. But I can barely watch a Super Bowl if they're not in it. So, yes, I've watched Super Bowls, but it's just like, all right, okay, whatever. But so, my comic book is in the works, like I said, and it's a mixture of fantasy with reality. Yep, I hope we get a Super Bowl soon too. Um, and so you've got cryptids, which are, if you don't know what a cryptid is, that is Bigfoots, aliens, Loch Ness monsters, chupacabras, things of that nature that people say don't exist, but there's too much evidence out there to that people have seen to discard the fact that it's not real. Okay, and then it's also going to incorporate witches and wizards and warlocks and and fairies and trolls and different mythological creatures, things that have been depicted throughout time in writings and in pictures and different things, even by Renaissance painters and things like that. So it's like, if these things didn't exist, why do we have so many paintings or depictions of these creatures and characters throughout history? Is it just because of someone's imagination? Or did they truly exist, but through time, they just kind of disappeared for whatever reason? It's just like they say UFOs and Bigfoots are one and the same, if you will, because whenever you see a Bigfoot in the area, you see a UFO. A lot of people speculate that the UFO is picking up the Bigfoot and um, transporting it to a different location. That's why you can never see it or find anything about it, like the dead bodies of Bigfoots. Why do we never see that? But they also say they're interdimensional beings and that they basically walk through a portal and go from one spot to another, and they disappear just as quick as you see them. Um, but it's always fascinating. That realm has always fascinated me ever since I was a kid when I saw my first demon. Yes, I saw a demon as a child. Um, and so I've seen a lot of things through my lifetime that I cannot explain, but I've seen with my own eyes. And excuse me. And I've seen plenty of UFOs. I've seen Bigfoot. And now everybody joining me and watching me is like, oh shit, this guy's crazy. This guy's a loon. Yes, Simon Nutball. Um, I live in a haunted house. I have poltergeist activity. I have orb activity in my house. I get EVPs. That's why I have this little guy sitting right here on a regular basis. So that if I do start hearing things, I will start asking questions in my own office. I've caught EVPs, but I can't understand what is being said on the other end, um, just because it's hard to make out. And I'm sure if I ran it back through some programs, I could probably enhance the audio of it and figure out what they're saying. But we've also done the spirit box and things like that. The apps on the phone. We don't have the actual spirit box here in the house, but we have caught all kinds of things. The spirit box has come up with some crazy stuff, and you know, I am not a professional ghost hunter, although I've been portrayed one on TV. No, I'm just kidding. Um, the fact that I do live in a haunted house is always exciting because you never know what's going to happen. Um, I have a coin, what's called a hobo coin. If you don't know what a hobo coin is, the hobos used to pass them off to each other back in the day. And I don't know if that's a thing today, but they were huge, probably back in the early 1900s or before. Roy's calling Ghostbusters for me right now. Well, that'd be cool for them to show up, for the Ghostbusters of Arkansas to show up. Um, but I had a hobo coin that is way up there. Okay, it's on a little plastic shelf that's got some crystals and some aliens on it and things like that. And this coin is huge. I mean, this coin is about this big around. Now it sits at the very back of the shelf with a rock in front of it. And I tested this theory out because whenever it's sitting on another rock, it will roll, and it has rolled before, and it will go up against the next picture because the picture frame is sitting here, and then the shelf is sitting here, and there's a gap, probably about an inch to maybe just over about an inch and a quarter gap between the frame and the shelf. And if this coin were to roll, it stops up against the frame. Okay. Well, one day I walked in my office, and this coin had gone from point A up there, which is a good 3 feet, 3.5 feet, to right down here in front of my keyboard, tail side up. And there's no physical way that that coin could get from point A to point B, period. It sits behind a good sized rock that takes up half of the coin itself because you got the coin and then you got the rock sitting right in front of it. Okay? So even if it were to tilt forward, that rock is going to stop it. That crystal is going to stop it. Well, it somehow flipped from there to down here. Right here in front of me on the desk. I walk in and I'm like, around, I kicked it around, I knocked it around, and it's just like, yeah, there's no way. Even if someone were to punch the wall as hard as they could on the other side, it still would not come out this way, this far, and land over here, number one, because that's a diagonal angle to come this direction. If something were to knock it and hit it, it would go straight down here over there, which is a good foot distance from where it landed, tail side up. And then I've got a picture of Kravitz and Pattinson from Batman, the Batman, autographed picture right above my head, right by a camera that used in here because I do get so much activity. I do have a camera live right there that records everything in here. Well, I was sitting here drawing this way, side this way, and drawing, doing my thing. Next thing I know, I get hit in the shoulder by this picture. It flew off the wall and hit me in the shoulder. And, people are like, oh, well, that's somebody hitting the wall on the other side. No, the window's open and I can see on the other side. I've got wood stacked right here. So it's very difficult for someone to stretch over and punch the wall and knock it off the wall. And number two is that these aren't the normal nails. This has a nail head on it. So you've got a head and the nail right here, and then it sits on the lip of that picture. So if you even pull the picture, it's technically going to pull that nail out of the wall. It has to lift up off of that picture frame. It has to go whoop and then fly off. So, those are just a couple of the recent activities that have happened in here within probably the last 2 months in here alone. Now, again, I've got EVPs in here. I've got other action figures in my hallway that have flown off the wall, off the shelf. And I've done a jump test. Nothing moves, period, on those shelves. And so there is no rhyme or reason why those figures should fly off the shelf and land right side up on the ground. Normally when something falls, it'll fall on its face or fall straight upside down or those type of things. But this fell off, it came off the shelf and landed, and I heard it. I wasn't in the room at the time. I was in the front room, and I heard it, and I was like, what the hell was that? Came and investigated, and sure enough, there it was, sitting right on the floor. And no rhyme or reason as to why it should have flown off the shelf. But again, those are just a few of the instances that have happened here. Full body apparitions, shadow people, tons of orbs, especially in the library area. I do have a haunted doll. His name is Diego. He is an adjuster that is not inside the house at this time because I have not blessed the box that he is sitting in. And I have not created a box for him to be blessed inside of and stored inside the house yet. Don't need another spirit running around with my other spirits. And no, I'm not drinking spirits either. So there you go. But no, it's always fun and exciting to see what's going to happen next when it comes to the paranormal, if you will. What's on the other side? But no, it is fun and exciting, and I enjoy my life from everything that I've seen and done and witnessed in my own lifetime. So, welcome to the show, everybody. We talk about everything here, apparently from paranormal to comic books to comic artwork to artwork in general. Like I said, I'm working on a David painting right now for a commissioned piece. So if you need a piece drawn for yourself, hit me up in the DMs. But also go up to my social medias up here by going to my profile page, going to my website, and directly on my website, when you open it up, you will see 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson, and directly underneath that logo that you see behind me right here, or up here, right here, it has my social media tags. It's got my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube, and you're here on TikTok, but I'm just letting you know that's how it lines out on the page right there, underneath my 412 Productions logo. And you can follow me on all the rest of the socials because everything that gets recorded up here goes directly to those pages as soon as the show ends. So as soon as this show ends, I will be uploading these directly to those channels. And if you missed anything, you can go back and watch those there. Because I'm not sure how live videos work here, if you can actually go back and watch them again right here on TikTok or not. I'm not that knowledged in all of that. I just come on live. I don't go look up lives to see if they're, readily available to people to view again. So you can go to my Facebook and you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see those live shows there. Now, Instagram, I'm not so sure I can put an entire live show up there because it breaks it down into smaller segments. So, so I don't think I can do a full live show there unless I'm actually going live on the platform. And that's what I'm working towards and working forward to is to get a program um, like StreamYard, or there was another one I just saw yesterday that I think I've got pulled up on one of my browsers that allows you to go live to several different channels at the same time. And that's what I'm working towards, is so that not only can I go live here, but I can go live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all at the exact same time. And yeah, it costs money, so that's why I'm working my fingers to the bone, to the arthritis side of things. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I probably will end up with arthritis with everything that I do, from chopping down trees to splitting my own firewood to um, felling trees with a chainsaw to clearing out a back 50 that I shouldn't have to be clearing out. But the cool thing on that is, um, for those of you that heard me griping about this previously, on the homestead, I just found out my property goes back farther than I thought it did. But in doing so, and pushing my property farther back where it's supposed to be, um, I now have a dilemma. The previous people that lived here, the two previous owners, threw everything, all of their old shit, over the fence. I don't know if they thought that it was going to be somebody else's problem, not like me, but like as in whoever owns the property behind them, or if they knew that that was their property and they just were throwing shit and trash back there on a regular basis. Well, once I found out from my neighbor, Mr. Cody over here, that the property line actually went back further, I just took a little trip. I walked back there and I was like, well, sure enough, here's the surveyor mark. The original surveyor mark is right here. And so I put my fence post in and then got to looking at all of the shit lined up behind the fence. Old carpet pads, steam cleaners. I mean, if you need a steam cleaner, I'll give you a good deal on it on four of them that we found back there. We got two Bissells and a couple other ones. I got a couple of vacuum cleaners. I got an old microwave if you want that. I can cut you a great deal on these things. But there's so much junk back there that they just threw over the fence, thinking, well, we'll deal with it later, or thinking they'll deal with it never. Well, they didn't get to deal with it ever. And I just want to walk down the street to where the first owners of the house live and punch them in the face. I mean, and ask them what the fuck they were thinking, throwing this shit over the fence, letting somebody else deal with it later. And that's just my gut reaction being in the military. And I'm not a violent person. I really am not. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's just like, why did you not have this stuff hauled off in the first place? Why did you decide you wanted to throw it over a fence and either never deal with it or have to deal with it later on if you were still living in this place? So, um, those were just some of my thoughts when it all came down to it all. It's just like, why? Why are you people such idiots to do this? And so now I'm having to deal with it, but I did find a roll-off dumpster company that was reasonable. So on the 24th of this month, they're rolling in a roll-off dumpster in my front yard. We're going to use the trailer, my truck, and load the trailer down over here I'm actually hoping to get a skid steer too. So if you get a skid steer that you would let me use, please let me use it. And I'm going to haul as much stuff from here as I can to put in this dumpster. It's a 14-yard dumpster. So holds 2,000 pounds worth of trash, and I doubt I'll even hit 2,000 pounds, but it'll come close. Um, I'll probably have about 1,000 pounds worth of trash when it's all said and done. Now, there's certain things that I can't throw in there, like the electronic stuff and paint cans, old paint. There's a ton of old paint cans, but they're all dry and empty. None of them have any liquids inside of them. There's a lot of old oil cans and stuff like that that again are just empty, but those still could have a potential of the chemical waste inside. So I've got to separate that stuff out from itself, and from there I will be able to. Uh, That's awesome though, dude. If you're in the Fort Smith area, I'll let you run it. He said he's got a skid steer, but he won't let nobody run it but him because it costs too much. His is brand new. Now I can go rent one of those too, and that's probably what I'll end up doing if I can't find someone in my area that wants to run it for me, or I can run it because I know how to run one of them things. Um, but it would be it would be much faster than just picking up the trash by hand, putting it on the trailer, and then taking it all the way to the dumpster, unloading the trailer into the dumpster, and going that route. So just come in, scoop it take it up, dump it, come back for another load, and keep moving. But we'll see. I'm sure I can find a friend of mine here that has one. Actually, I can probably talk to the ex-mayor from here in town that I live in because he's a pretty cool dude, and he'd probably just come over here and pick it up and dump it for me. So, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this trash cleaned up because that opens up a huge area for me. Um, so I can have a basically a 45 by 50 foot garden or a 50 by 50 garden or whatever I want back there. Um, now I am keeping several of the trees back there. I have taken down a lot of the smaller trees and a lot of the dead brush and underbrush that's over there as well. And so that's fun and exciting. I mean, it's just opening up so much more room for us. The duck pond with our koi and goldfish and stuff like that is going to open up and expand as well, so that we can move our ducks away from the chickens and they have their own play area basically with this pond. Um, so we're going to make it a bigger pond for the ducks. We're going to get more ducks and go that route. Um, Now, once that's all said and done, and we're actually thinking about getting rid of our goats except for one. And once we do that, um, we are because the goats are doing nothing for us. I mean, we talked about it, and we're probably going to get rid of the goats except for Leon and keep him because we have somebody that's possibly interested in the goats already. But um, but we thought we were going to be doing lotions and cheeses and things like that and soaps with the goat milk, but we got the wrong kind of goats. We got Nigerian dwarfs, and we need a dairy goat is what we need because the dairy goats produce a lot more milk than your Nigerian dwarf, who only basically produces the milk for a short time and then it's done. Um, just enough to wean the babies off of and go from that route. So, but that's what we're thinking. And I mean, it'll be hard to get rid of them because they've become part of the family here as of the last year. But on the same token, all they're doing is costing us a lot of money to feed. So if we were to take it down to one goat, a bag of feed could last us well over a month. You know, so um, but we'll see. We're discussing. We've already reached out to one person, and we will see what happens on that token and note. But see, y'all. Back to my comic book. It is a 4-issue miniseries, and it is. See, boom, just switch subjects real fast. Wow, that's a head turner. Oh, whiplash. Um, my comic book is going to be a 4-issue miniseries. It will have 16 covers to each issue because 4 covers per issue, and I'm going to be using 4 different artists per book. I will not rehash the same artist for another book as we go along. So I want to give other artists ample opportunity to create something out there for the book itself. So, and I will look at several different ones. I've got several different people in mind already. Um, I probably have a list of about 8 people right now. So that's half of the books taken care of because now that is my cover included. So I'm using 3 different artists per book thereafter. So that's already 3 books in on the pages so far on the books. So if I have 8 people in mind, that I need 1 more, and that's 3 of the books. So if I have 9 in mind, that takes up the other 3 people, 3, 6, 9, and then I need to find 3 more, which won't be hard. I can already keep thinking on who I'm going to use. But like I said, I've already got about 8 people in mind that I want to do something for my book, and um, it's going to be exciting to do that because I'm not going to use just super well-known people names. I'm going to use people that have been in the industry and are still working in the industry, but some of them are up and comers as well. So again, this gives other people, ample opportunity to showcase their artwork on a comic book, and that's my lifelong goal, is to have your own comic book out there that you can present to people, that people can buy in digital form, in um, physical form, and then in a graphic novel, which collects everything, every cover, um, every drawing, every thought, all the good stuff. It gives you the whole thought process behind how the comic book came about, and that's what I'm looking forward to with this. Is that the end goal is that graphic novel? Um, because yes, the comic books, the individual comic books are going to be great. Um, with the fact that number 4 is going to be potentially a double size issue to wrap everything up and to potentially off sparking other characters from the book. If people like the book enough, that could happen. And I'm hoping that people do like the book enough that they will want to see other characters come to light in their own comic book or their own one shot, or those type of things. And that's the goal, is that you want the reader to be enthralled enough, intertwined with the characters, to want to see them progress, or how they got to where they are in this comic book that you're reading now. And so that's the end goal, is to see if enough readership out there, if it warrants enough to uh, be seen elsewhere, as far as other people wanting more character development from other characters inside the book, because you're basically going to be focusing on one character in this whole story, and that's the main character. And you are going to have your other characters in there that he interacts with, um, but you're not going to see total offshoots of them in the story per se. You will see little story arcs and things like that throughout the comic, but as far as them having their own little standalone story in the comic book, that's not going to happen. And I know that you know you see that happen in other comic books where they are in the main story, and then boom, they flip over here to this other story that's happening. From the villain's perspective. Um, there are villains in the book, but the villain is a dirty word, if you will. It is one of those taboo words that are you really the villain or are you being portrayed as the villain? You know. So there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this comic book for everybody, and I appreciate everybody that's sharing this video out there so that their friends can come join and check out the channel. It is much appreciated. Like I said, because we do talk artwork, we do talk comic books, we do talk my own works of art and comics, as well as published already comic books out there. Like I said, I have a segment now for Antarctic Press, a very well-known publisher in the comic book realm that is allowing podcasters and influencers live videos and things like that out there to promote Antarctic Press. And then on the flip side of that, I get to get their viewership over here on my page as well. So, and hopefully it works out super well on that end. That Mr. Ben Dunn is allowing these people to do this and help him out because the distribution is being disrupted at Diamond Distribution because they filed bankruptcy. Now there are a couple of entities that are wanting to buy them out and keep the production going, but it still will probably change some things especially for the independent artists that have their stuff in Diamond Distribution for big comic book companies. Thank you, TikTok. I was wondering when my puzzle piece was going to arrive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, TikTok pulls up this little thing. I guess if you get close to an hour long or whatever it is, but they have this little puzzle piece you have to slide over to show that hey, I'm still active right now, which I don't understand. Obviously, you can see TikTok that I'm still active and going strong here, and we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. But no, so we look forward to more segments of Mr. Ben Dunn's productions from Antarctic Press, upcoming comics, and like you said, we will also be able to review older comic books as well, the classics that they have. Now, the only one that he doesn't have that he wishes he still had, wishes he never would have given up the entity for, which was Warrior Nun Ariella, which was a very, very cool comic book. You had this nun who was a warrior. Um, it was one of the fan favorites, actually, because it came out with a lot of different action figures and T-shirts and all kinds of other merch that they had going on. And it was a very cool character, very cool entity, but he had to give that up because of some issues, health issues in the family. And so he sold that character's rights off, and now it is with Avatar Press, I believe. Um, and so you can still follow the adventures of the Warrior Nun, but it is under a different title. I didn't see one for Warrior Nun Ariella out there. Now, again, sad day whenever he had to give that up, and the company now no longer uses Ariella. They use a different nun out there because warrior nuns can be more than just one. Is I guess their thoughts and opinions on it. So they have changed the name. They've kept warrior nun, but they changed the name of the main character that was there previously. Um, Antarctic Press is coming out with a lot of cool stuff as well. Risk. It does a body good. Not really, but you know, it's better than plain water sometimes. But no, I drink a lot of water too, um, and I try to drink more water than anything else, just because it's more healthy for you. But no, I'm looking forward to this year because this is my rebuild year. Like I've told everybody, thank you for stopping in at the channel, checking us out here at away from the old title that I had for this new title that you see behind me, um, and on my social medias and on my webpage up there, just because if there was any negative connotations with my website or my old business, Anderson Graphics Kingdom, I wanted to get rid of all of that. 412 Productions came about probably about 5 to 6 years ago, um, and it is a time. It's not something from the Bible. It's not a quote from the Bible or a verse from the Bible. It is a time, 4:12 a.m. in the morning. And some of you have already heard this story several times, but I'll tell you again. 412 came about because I used to wake up about 4:12 in the morning almost every day. Before the phone had the time and stuff on it, long before even cell phones were around, when I used to fish with my grandpa, we would wake up bright and early in the morning, sometimes before 4 o'clock. But for the longest time, I would wake up about 4:12 in the morning almost every day, even before the military, and I'm about to sneeze. Bless me. And well, one day, whenever cell phones were around, again, 5 or 6 years ago, I was laying there, woke up, picked up my phone, 4:12, okay, set the phone down, laying there, trying to go back to sleep, and then this bright light hit my eyes. It said Productions, flashed across my eyes, and I'm like, Productions? And I'm like, 412 Productions. That's a catchy title. So I put that on the back burner for the longest point in time, and then come 2024, the last two shows of the year, which was SpaceCon in San Antonio, and then the very last show, Bonesy Jonesy's Comics and Collectibles in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Great spot. Go check them out. Brandon Jones up there and his wife. Go check them out. That's when I debuted my new thoughts of ending my old business. And everybody thought I was ending my artwork career because I put a tombstone with my old logo on it and a start and end date of the day it was born, the day it died. Even my mother was freaked out. You're giving up artwork? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this. Mom, just wait. Mom, just wait. About midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning on the 1st of January, 412 Productions was born. And this is the second logo. Because I thought the logo that I had was great. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was the end all be all go to that I was going to use. And then I got to looking at it and I was like, well, damn, this thing is stiffer than all get out. And it was just like, I appreciate the love and the likes out there. And it was like, this logo sucks. And I had it on everything already. I had it ready to roll out. And so, and that was just like, no, I got to do something different. This sucks. I'm looking at this thing. It looks more like a frog than an alien. And it was like, all right, let's do some drawing. So I started drawing up this logo that you see behind me, and I'll get out the way so you can see it right there. And that is the logo that came to fruition. My little alien artist right there represents me in a way, because that is my gloved hand that was being used with my drawing glove right here, and my pencil. Let me dawn the idea here. Oh, there goes my eraser. The glove, the pencil, and there it is, right there. Well, the pencil's not showing up because it's out of frame right there, but there you go. That's where that little arm came from, because yes, that is my actual arm that I drew behind or in front of the alien there, and so it all started coming together with this new logo, and I loved this version over the other version, and so I quickly destroyed the other version on everything else and uh, put this one on things. This one's going to be on T-shirts, hats. Um, who knows what else it's all going to be on? It's definitely going to be on my table skirt, those type things. So be on the lookout for that at a comic book convention in 2026, because that is when I will start going to comic book conventions again, with new product, new stuff for the masses. And excuse me, I look forward to it because it's fun and it's exciting, um, to do this. And I look forward to it with the new stuff to roll out, when it's all said and done. And hopefully, I'll have enough of my comic book out there that I can promote that as well. Because right now, it's still in the works. Like I said, it's only 18 pages in on book one, and I'm getting ready to start some paintings for the covers of my covers, for the books that I think are going to be killer as well. And so I'm really looking forward to this year of a rebuild, with everything, and it's already started out with a bang. Artwork is actually moving out the door. New product is moving out the door. I also have some new, um, like I said, the saw blades and things like that with paintings on top of those. So if you're interested in any of that type of stuff, or you want something of your own on a specific item, just let me know. Hit me up in the DMs up there. You can go to my profile page, send me a message, all that good stuff. On Facebook and YouTube, you can still send me messages or comment on the videos that you see up there as well. But that is it for today, folks. I'm going to get on to some artwork, and I appreciate each and every one of you being here with me, spending a few minutes with me, or an entire hour with me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Ghost, welcome to the show. I know you are a good follower out there of the merchandise and artwork and stuff like that. As well as Roy and several others that have liked and shared this video to their masses. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here, stopping in to check out the channel for even a brief moment. You guys make it great. We've been reaching about 3,000 views here lately, which is very awesome, especially for my channel, uh, which used to get 200 views. Now we're reaching 3,000, so that's pretty awesome. And I have you guys to thank for that. I appreciate each and every one of you out there for stopping in. Go check out the broadcast channels up top. You can go to my profile up there, hit the link for my website, and from my website you can go join my other channels: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course you are here on TikTok. So like, share, follow here on TikTok to know when the next show is happening, which will actually be Friday the 7th. With that, I will leave you guys so I can get back to some artwork. And as I like to say as I leave my show, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.